would you like to discover ultra consciousness, the ultimate state of awareness? Daphne Michaels will tell us what that is and how it can help us. And she's a human potential expert, best-selling author, and ultra consciousness guide. And she has dedicated her life to helping others reach elevated consciousness through energetic insights, tools, and practices. So Daphne, tell us about what is ultra consciousness and how does having that help us become the ultimate person. Heal Podcast with Lily Patrascu shares longevity and anti-aging techniques to stay young forever, increase energy, overcome addiction, and live your longest, best life ever. Shared by world's most innovative, alternative, and traditional health thought leaders, healers, and doctors. Discover quantum healing strategies to heal your mind, body, and soul.
Lily, thank you so much for inviting me onto your show. It's truly an honor. And I would love to talk about ultra consciousness because I think even though this term is not popular at this moment, I think it will become very popular. And here's why. The term itself was invented in the early 1900s by Paul Ole, who was the father of information sciences, and Peter LaFontaine, who was a Nobel Peace Prize laureate. Together, they sought out to describe every experience that a human can have. And they came up with the term ultra consciousness to describe a state of awareness that is beyond self-awareness and is about tapping into universal consciousness. So as a human potential expert, I love that term because what I think we all need is to take the step beyond just self-awareness, mindfulness, understanding who we are in one dimension of life, and open it up to our complete human potential, which is about elevated consciousness, elevated states of being, and connecting with the universe directly.
Thank you. Tell us what exactly that means to you. Like, once you have obtained this level of ultra consciousness, what did you do differently in your personal life? Or how did your connectedness to others seem different?
When I first became ultra conscious, I was 19 years old. It was a spiritual awakening, and it was an automatic shift in my perspective that allowed me to perceive that life is much bigger than we think, and that there are many dimensions to life. And so the way that this works on a practical level is that we can get stuck into the trauma and drama of life, ruin our nervous system, create a total mess out of our life because we're running on our emotions and we're running on old thought patterns. We're operating out of ego. Or we can step into a place where we're witnessing ourselves and we're able to say, this is not who I'm meant to be. I am meant to be connected to a higher realm, a higher way of being, a higher vibration. And that changes everything.
Thank you. Give me an example of what that would look like. So let's say I need to travel today, okay? And there's about 10 different things that I need to do that are ultra important. And luckily, I managed to do most of them. Some things I couldn't do yet, and I'm feeling like a little bit anxious about it. How would I, let's say by becoming ultra conscious, how would I transform this experience that I'm having about something that is, you can say frustrating me or making me anxious and making me worried and create possible horrible scenarios of what could possibly go wrong. And instead of seeing that and having that as my experience, how can I turn that into a beautiful experience where I'm perhaps experiencing a different level, a different dimension of my current life?
I love the question. And so, first of all, let me say this: ultra consciousness is not a state of being we achieve and then that's it. We're always ultra conscious. We come in and out of states of being, of states of heightened awareness. So, what we do when we're in that frustrated state, if we understand ultra consciousness, when we're in that state of frustration, we understand that we have allowed ourselves to leave our sense of connection with the universe. So we have to get reconnected with that higher energy. And the way we do that is just, there's many ways to do that, but one way to do that is just to stop for a moment and recalibrate our energy field. And that recalibration, some people may think of that as meditation, mindfulness. I have my own techniques that I teach people, which is all about actually, literally, going up through the top of their head, reconnecting with a higher vibration, and then bringing themselves back into coherence with that higher vibration.
Thank you. How do you know when you have reached ultra consciousness, and what steps are there to get there?
The way that we know is that our life becomes quite magical. And the magic is in the synchronicities, because everything seems like it is playing out exactly how it should, even some of the difficult times. But really, when we're in these elevated states of consciousness, there is some kind of synchronicity flow. Flow is a great word for it. So that we feel like we are in flow, things are happening, we're able to get everything done. And it just seems like we're really utilizing more and more of our higher intelligence, and that there's magic to it. There's a magnetic to it that draws people to us, that draws situations to us. We don't have to work as hard because we're in this other flow.
Thank you. How do we stay in this state of ultra consciousness for a long period of time? Because I find that sometimes, let's say I have a period of stagnation, okay? And then all of a sudden, with no reason whatsoever, I feel like I'm going to burst full of energy, and I feel like so great. And I know so many great things are happening. And then so many great things are happening, and then I feel in flow.
Yeah.
Everything's so exciting. I meet so many amazing people, and people are looking at me like in a way that they kind of see my worth and my value. And then I'm meeting incredible people, and then like everything is just, I'm in this channel of amazing stuff.
Exactly.
And it kind of stops, like sometimes there's this, I don't know, this block or this, let's say I travel to a different country, and all of a sudden the energy is not flowing, the things are not moving, the calls are not happening, the technology is not working, the money is not transferring from PayPal. I don't know, so many different things. So I'm wondering, like, how can we stay in that amazing ultra consciousness state, in that flow of awesomeness, and not go into the state of ugly, this isn't working?
Well, what I love about the question and your example is that I think you really understand what we're talking about, right? In terms of ultra consciousness. You've had the experiences where everything seems magical. You are really attracting what you need. It's more than you could have hoped for. It's just incredible. And so that is ultra consciousness. Congratulations. So what we need to do, and the work that I do with people, is we need to become extremely aware of when the flow stopped and why. So we begin to track our experiences, and we may be able to say, you know what? everything stopped flowing when I got so frustrated that I did something that I'm not happy about, I kind of acted it out in a way. Now, that's not really a problem, but the problem is that we shut down our own flow when we judge ourselves or we judge other people. So, there's lots of other ways that we shut down our flow. We're too tired. We haven't eaten the right food. We are having a difficult time in a relationship. We're worried about our life. All of these energies that's what's shutting down the flow. So basically, in those stressful times, we have to use that as a moment to prove to the universe that we can ride the wave. So even though we're tired, even though the wave is not as strong because we're not as strong, we just say to the universe, basically, I'm going to get a good night's sleep. I am going to reset my energy. I'm going to reset my intention. And we constantly recalibrate to clear what's blocking the flow and get back into the flow.
Thank you. Are there any routines and habits or apps that you recommend people to do so they can continue staying in that ultra consciousness field? For example, for me, I really don't like meditation. And the reason I don't like it is because it makes me feel kind of scared. Because every time there's this exercise of you come out of your head and you're in a pyramid and, it feels like you're alone in the sky. And it's so scary to me to be alone somewhere. And then the only thing that kind of calms me down is thinking about, okay, I'm there with someone. And very scary. So I don't like meditation, although everyone is saying how amazing that is. So imagine, okay, some people will be open to meditation, but what else can someone do? Or would you say that meditation is the way you have to do meditation? Otherwise, there's no other.
No, I actually don't. I don't promote meditation because I do think a lot of people don't really know how to navigate it without opening up their subconscious in a way that's not helpful. So I've been working with human potential for many, many, many years. I was a licensed psychotherapist. I've worked very deeply with the human psyche. I understand how the human psyche works internally, and it's tricky. It's tricky to get beyond our own limits and stay in ultra consciousness. So I'm going to give you just a couple of things that I think would be super helpful. Everybody is different, but one of the things we can do is tap into the sunrise. So when we get up in the morning, and we can really, if we can get up early enough to experience the sunrise, what we want to do is not only see the sunrise, we want to feel the rays of the sunrise because that calibrates very high. The vibration of the sun is a very pure light. So we just move that all the way through our body, right? Just imagine it radiating all the way through our body, clearing all of the static that we need to let go of to maintain an ultra conscious state. And that in itself is a great practice to start the day with. I like also tuning into starlight at night. So if there's a way to tap into the pure vibration of stars and just feel the radiance of the stars coming through our field and elevating us to this next level of clarity, that can be really awesome as well. And then I teach all sorts of different techniques and so forth in my movement. So if people are really interested in living an ultra conscious life, then I'd be happy to talk about what I'm offering in terms of my movement and how that works.
Thank you. Why is it, for example, that I've lived in London for 20 years and I find it very exciting. It's probably the best city in the world to live in because I mean, it has so many exciting stuff to do, right? But I found myself recently with relatively like lower and lower and lower energy. Whereas when I'm traveling around, I find myself empowered and inspired. So my question is, how does someone look into the clues that the environment is giving you in order to tune into what your next move should be, so you can become ultra conscious of what you're supposed to be doing, like which path you're supposed to be taking, and the alignment with your general purpose?
Absolutely. That is such a great question, because when we're trying to figure out the energetics of ultra consciousness, we definitely have to think about our environment, because our environment is vibrating a certain energetic. So one of the things that is really helpful is for people to connect beyond where they are. And the thing about ultra consciousness, because my model is based on inspired by quantum physics. So like Deepak Chopra's model is based on or inspired by quantum physics. There's a lot of quantum physicists who believe that the principles of quantum physics are also at play in terms of our evolution of consciousness. So in quantum physics, there are actually several dimensions to life. And one of the dimensions that I think one of the dimensions is beyond space. So in other words, that's how long distance healing works. When we tap in beyond space, we send energy, we receive energy. So when it comes to people that have big visions, it's never going to work for people to be held in one location, because their vision is too big for one location. So I work with people in terms of, you're in London, but also tap into that other place that you love, and also tap into that other place that you love, so that you have a blend of vibrations. You're not just in London, you're actually tapping into at least 3. So there's a triangle there from you to London, and then maybe you need to take a little vacation to Portugal, Lagos or something. And then, another location. That's going to free your energy so that you're not just limited by what you experience in London. It's beyond that.
Thank you. So what I've noticed recently is, for example, when I went to Dubai, I felt incredibly powered up, like almost like plugged into electricity. And
yeah, totally.
Marrakesh was the same. It felt very, like electrifying. Now, when I was in Miami, it's not the same. It's much lower, the energy, right?
So absolutely.
I find that I don't know at the moment, like how to connect to the energy of a place where I'm not. But what I do find very powerful is being in the frequency of really wealthy places. Like, for example, in a lot of like luxury buildings, and you can be, you can stay overnight in like luxury hotels, and it's it's something that is like very possible for like pretty much anyone to do. And we have set this up everywhere pretty much, right?
Yeah. The creative energy is there, right? When you're in luxury locations, there is a lot of creative energy. So all you have to do in order to stay tapped into it when you're not there is just basically do a visualization and remember in your being what it's like to be there. And then just key that up in yourself. And I can actually see your energy shifting as we're talking about it, because now you are doing that beyond space thing. You are tapping into Dubai, even though you're in London. That's completely possible to keep that level of creativity going.
Thank you. How does someone, like, I did feel actually almost like a lift of frequency as you were speaking.
Yeah.
How does someone, aside from like connecting and visualizing to a place where you're not, that you would like to be in, what's another way of like elevating your frequency so you can manifest more, so you can be on this ultra consciousness path, because I find that it's, for me, it's not so easy necessarily to kind of step into that. Like, I feel almost like it's the universe, or I don't know, someone kind of gets to decide when I'm in that mood, kind of thing. It's like just comes randomly, and I just feel really great for no reason at all, and then I feel really horrible for no reason at all as well. And like, how does someone control this state of ultra consciousness? Is there any way to kind of get a grip on it, so you're not like, it doesn't feel like you're, it's someone's, beck and call of, other people's energy, that perhaps people on the train, or on the plane, or on the, I know, your work colleagues, or people who didn't pay you, or I don't know, different negative energies that could potentially impact you, that you want to like stay clear of those and to stay on your own path, kind of thing.
Absolutely. And I love your questions, because you are so talking about this, that being in a higher frequency, we can create more. Being in a higher frequency, we can manifest more. Being in a higher frequency is what we want. How do we gain command over that state of being? And that's actually part of the developmental process, because I think ultra consciousness is the next level of development as a human species. So how we develop this is actually through our awareness and our intentions. And so we have to work with our intentions. And I mean, I can just see you so clearly, and I can see that your intention is to 100% fulfill your destiny on this planet. And so that is, if you have that as your intention, you know that you want to fulfill your destiny on this planet, and you have an idea of what that destiny is. And I can see that part of that destiny is kind of cracking the wealth code in a way. Right. And, that's beautiful. That is freedom for a lot of people. So leading the pack in terms of this is how anybody can do it. And this is how anybody can get to this lifestyle that is exciting. If that is your vision and your intention, then you can stay tapped into that vibration. So, for instance, you can journal about it. This is what it's like to live this lifestyle. You can do virtual travel. This is what it's like to live this lifestyle. You keep yourself in the lifestyle through mental activities. And also, not only the lifestyle, but I think as well that the lifestyle has to be connected to the universe, or else it becomes empty, right? Right. So keeping it connected to the universe, and that kind of beautiful big love energy, then that also continues to infuse the vibration to keep you on that wave.
Thank you. How does someone become more connected to love and joy, and through that to kind of does that lead towards ultra consciousness as well?
Absolutely, because I actually think ultra consciousness is love. And so it is love, and it is joy. And the first thing, I mean, it's a journey, right? People that your followers, your listeners are on that journey. And what's so exciting about now is that so many people are on the journey consciously, which is incredible. It's never been like this before. And so we have to make the decision to live love. We have to make the decision to become our higher self and create our own code of conduct in terms of what that means, and create our own intentions in terms of what we want to manifest. So it's about becoming more conscious that we have so much potential when we're connected to this experience of big love.
Thank you. How do we know that we have become love? What kind of actions would someone take to become love and joy?
So I think we know when we're no longer afraid. And so, of course, fear comes and goes in our life. But I think when we're really tapping into that higher vibration of ultra consciousness, we don't feel afraid. We feel like we're having fun, like we're on a wave, and that wave is taking us someplace. And the place that wave is taking us is completely connected to our intention. Because once we get the energy moving in our life, we get the energy moving in our system, in our being, then it is our intention that is directing how that wave is going to go and where that wave is going to take us. And there is nothing beyond our limitations, right? In other words, there's nothing that we can't do on that wave.
Thank you. For a long time, I thought I was annoying. And I think I kind of went from joking about it, like, I'm so annoying, to I guess initially it was worse than that. I actually hated myself. And I kind of went to jokingly, thinking, oh, I'm annoying, nobody likes me kind of thing. And then I'm kind of shifting into millions of people love me. For the artistry and creativity that I and love and joy that I provide to their lives. But I can't say that I'm there fully. But I do notice that sometimes I get this feeling of love, almost like I'm about to burst. And it's in those moments that I feel this connectedness. And at the same time, it's like my business goals happen faster. I meet more exciting people, and I meet the kind of clients I would, I just love working with. And so I'm wondering, how do we stop manifesting what we don't desire? And how do we stay on this path of love and joy? Because I find myself that, yes, I'm in love. And at the same time, fear comes and grabs me by the throat. And then I'm too scared to make the next move.
Totally. And you're talking about that developmental process, right? But for most people, what you're doing, what I'm doing, what people who want to have a bigger life experience are doing, for most people, we're kind of weird, right? We're not normal in a way. And so a lot of people could be putting those kinds of judgments toward us because we are doing things differently. And that is part of our freedom journey, to be exactly who we are, no matter what some people think about it. And then we find ourselves in the group or in the experience of so many people that really appreciate what we're doing, really love what we're doing, want to learn from us, want to grow with us, want to be part of this, because the old way of being feels like they've outgrown it. So I think it's a matter of just being aware that, yes, there are going to be people that are going to not vibrate the highest energy, and that's fine. There are a lot of people who will, and we have to make the choice which field, which energy we're going to live in and be dedicated to it.
Thank you. How do I stop blocking my own manifestations and my own path towards ultra consciousness with shame and guilt from maybe not fulfilling all my promises or not living up to the expectations that I have of me, which are very high?
Yeah. So that's one of the things that we do. We say, I am dedicated, I am devoted to living out my highest potential, and I'm learning how. So if I didn't meet my own expectations yesterday, that's fine, because I'm still learning. And life is a learning journey. So we just say, I'm resetting today. I'm resetting my calibration today, starting over right now in present time as this incredible force of universal energy that is spreading love and spreading light and helping people come into this new state of awareness.
Thank you. And how do I forgive myself for not accomplishing the goals that I set out to do?
I think we let go of those goals. And we say, I guess that goal was not meant to be. Because everything that we're doing has to have the support of the universe. If we've created a goal because we thought, I need to have this goal because I need this credential, or I need to be able to prove this, or I need to be able to have this social proof or whatever, the universe may be saying, no, you don't. Actually, you didn't need that goal at all. Just let go of the goal, because this is the way, and it's going to actually be accelerated.
Thank you. Tell us where entrepreneurs can connect with you.
Say that again.
Tell us where entrepreneurs can connect.
Oh, thank you so much. So DaphneMichaels.com is my website. I would love to have people come to one of my free events, which is the SHIB experience, and we can work energetically to take your frequency to a higher vibration.
Thank you. Follow me for more interviews with world's most innovative health changemakers to live your healthiest life ever.